So how do you know you have limiting beliefs? Well, for one, we all have beliefs because they are what guide our choices, our opinions, and how we feel about anything. And so if you have ever said, I can't, or I don't think I can, then that means a belief is limiting us in what we think is possible. There's a limiting belief holding us back, and there are some common mistakes, some do's and don'ts that can save a lot of your time and energy when getting rid of limiting beliefs. And the first of these mistakes is to go after each and every I can't that you find. Every limiting belief you uncover, don't mess with it if it's not bothering you. Like, I might say I can't surf. Now, there are a couple of limiting beliefs behind that, but it's not hurting my quality of life, my desires, or my goals in life. So why waste time and energy getting rid of limiting beliefs that are affecting maybe 0.003% of your life, right? It's not a question of what limiting beliefs are you holding on to. The point to focus on is what limiting beliefs are holding you back. And so what if it's something you want to change? Like when you think that's a very good option, but then you get a kind of resistance inside you at the very thought of acting on it. And the reason that pops up in our head, why it won't be a good fit for us, even if it sounds totally logical, is an unhelpful belief that will be holding us back. That's something we should be working on, especially if it's going to stop us from going after things we really want. Do stop before making any decision based on that feeling alone. Ask if the thought, the reason why you think it won't be a good option for you, making you act from a position of fear, a fear of failure, of not having what it demands. And second, is there something more productive which, if you believed about you or the situation, would stop you from feeling that resistance, would help you act? And if your answer is yes to both of these, then it surely is something that can change a lot for you. Getting rid of limiting beliefs like these can bring a lot of positive change in our life. So what do you do when you are convinced you want to change an unhelpful belief? That's where the next mistake shows up. See, as most of our beliefs work at a subconscious level, getting rid of a limiting belief means proving it to be untrue from the base up, finding as much proof as we can that the opposite is true. And the mistake that we can do here is trying to find proof elsewhere because we think we can't find any in our own lives. Like if you want to find proof that there's still time for you to go after something you have dreamt all your life, but you have a sneaky feeling that it's too late for you, it's normal to look for examples of other people who have done so, gone after their dreams against all odds and succeeded. And that works, but sometimes that's the reason why some people feel that inspirational stories don't make them feel any different, or inspirational quotes don't make them do anything different, because they haven't dealt with their self-limiting beliefs first. A better way to go about it is to look for examples from our own life, even if it is in some other context, because if it makes us see the possibility, it's an example we should go after. Like in the example we took, if you want to go after a dream you always had, look for those times in your life when you felt something wouldn't simply work out, or at the very least you were very doubtful about it, but you went after it anyways, and the results simply surprised you. Those are the examples that show our subconscious mind that we have it in us to succeed against odds. And that's where you get your motivation to take that first step. But feeling motivated in the moment isn't enough. What makes sure that this limiting belief won't creep back into some other area of our life? That's why we shouldn't leave it hanging, getting rid of limiting beliefs, but leaving a void in their place. It's a far more effective strategy to replace a limiting belief with an enabling belief, an empowering one, because just like habits, it's easier and more effective to replace than to simply get rid of an unhelpful belief. And as a very agreeable side effect, this can also boost our confidence and improve our quality of life. When you find an unhelpful belief you want to work on, which we did earlier in step 2, ask yourself, what is the belief that would help instead if it were true? Like if you are stuck with I can't do this, then that would obviously mean knowing how to do it. And knowing how to do means we learn how to do that, right? So the replacing self-talk we are looking for is, I'm learning to do XYZ. Because that gives us time to try, make mistakes, get better, and also be self-compassionate enough to not judge. But that raises the question, how do we make sure that the ones we are replacing it with is an enabling belief and not just an empowering one? Because that's a very common mistake and a costly one, because it can become a new limiting belief in itself. Empowering beliefs can help us feel more confident, but if it isn't an enabling belief too, it won't help us act confidently. Like if your new replacing belief is I'm smart, does it really make you feel ready for any challenge because you know you can learn anything and get better till you reach the end successfully? Or does being smart to you mean there's nothing I don't know about this? Because that then becomes something that makes us miss a lot of promising opportunities in life. Everything that shines isn't gold, and every belief that sounds good isn't. Like, I'm a perfectionist. Now that looks really good, but it also shows a lack of confidence in our own judgment and a lack of openness to learn and grow. So how do we go about this effectively? That's what this video over here shows, how to identify those self-limiting beliefs, and also some very simple techniques that you can start implementing right now to overcome them effectively. Have a look. I know you will find it helpful. Take care, and I'll meet you in the next video.